This is a song by Stanley G. Triggs, and it's called The Wreck of the C.P. York. So spoiler alert, it's the wreck of the C.P. York. Come all ye shipmates and listen to me, to a story that will make you grieve, of a tugboat that went down off the Tottenham ledge. 'Twas on a Christmas Eve. Well, the C.P. York, she was headed north to Duncan Bay. And though 'twas a mate who stood watch at her wheel, 'twas the devil that guided her that day. They were just about 5 miles up in the stretch when a southeast gale began to blow. They headed for shelter in Buccaneer Bay. 'Twas the only place there was to go. In Welcome Pass, the mate was alert for the sight of the marker ahead, but he cut her too short coming out of the pass, and they grounded on Tottenham Ledge. Well, the barge dragged the tugboat into the deep, and she sank 20 fathoms down. Only the chief and the skipper survived. Her 5 other crew were drowned. Well, they salvaged the C.P. York, and she's working yet, though she has a new crew, brave and bold. But she'll never forget that cold Christmas Eve, nor the ghosts of the 5 in her hold. So the wreck of the C.P.
Indeed. That's the story.
And then this is the Ballad of Harry Truman. And this Harry Truman was not the President of the United States, Harry Truman, but the keeper of the lodge at Spirit Lake on Mount St. Helens at the time the volcano erupted. And it's written by Neil Woodall. The Ballad of Harry Truman. Well, good old Harry Truman was washed away, or so they say. Oh, I should cable that one. Well, good old Harry Truman was washed away, or so they say, by Helens, Mount St. Helens. He was the keeper of the Spirit Lake, and the only thing he could not take was leaving. And the people asked, why don't you go? Harry, that mountaintop is gonna blow. And Harry said, thanks, I know, but right now I'm kinda busy. Well, for more than 50 years or so, Harry lived a mountain life, and he knew its fears. And he and Edna made their way. They made it through the fire and the winds. They just built again. And the people pleaded, why don't you go? Harry, that mountaintop is gonna blow. Harry smiled and said, you know, maybe you better go. You can take my neighbors with you. Well, the nation watched for weeks on end while Helens puffed and spewed again and again. Then she started to swell and tilt, and no one more than Harry knew just what it meant. And the people begged, why don't you go? Harry, that mountaintop is gonna blow. And Harry said he had his own hiding home and a gallon of whiskey to ease the blow. Well, could it be that Harry knew it all might happen just before it did? But still he said, I won't go off my mountain home. It's where I live, and I deserve to end. And the people begged, why don't you go? Harry, that mountaintop is gonna blow. And Harry said, you know, maybe so, but it sure beats the hell out of dying slow, like in some old folks' home.
Amen.
Good old Harry Truman was washed away on that fateful day. by Helen's Mount, St. Helens. That was written by Neil Woodall. And this is the boy who wouldn't hoe his corn. I'll sing you a song, it won't take long, about a lazy farmer who wouldn't hoe his corn. The reason why I cannot tell, for that young man was always well, for that young man was always well. Well, he planted his corn about June the last, by July the corn was about knee-high. September came, there was a great frost, and all that young man's corn was lost, and all that young man's corn was lost. Well, he went to his field when he got there at last. The weeds and the grass were up to his eyes. The weeds and the grass had grown so high, it caused that poor young man to sigh. It caused that poor young man to sigh. Now his courtship had just begun. She asked, "Kind sir, have you hoed your corn?" "Well, I've tried and I've tried and I've tried in vain, but I don't believe I'll raise one grain. I don't believe I'll raise one grain." "Well, why do you come for me to wed, if you can't raise your own cornbread? Single I am, single I'll remain, a lazy man I'll not maintain, a lazy man I'll not maintain." Well, he hung his head and he walked away, saying, "Kind miss, you'll rue the day. You'll rue the day that you was born, for giving me the devil 'cause I wouldn't hoe my corn, for giving me the devil 'cause I wouldn't hoe my corn." And so his courtship came to an end, and on his way he did begin, saying, "Kind miss, I'll find another girl, if I have to ramble this whole wide world, if I have to ramble this whole wide world." So the way he wouldn't go his corn. And this is the heart of the Appaloosa, and it's written by Fred Small, and it's about the Nez Perce Indians, Chief Joseph, who also took the name Thunder Rolling in the Mountains. Their horses, spotted horses called the Appaloosa. From the land of the shooting waters to the peaks of the Coeur d'Alenes, the huckleberries in the forest held grazing on the plain. The people of the Coyote made their camps along the streams of the green Wallowa Valley when fences had no name. Well, they bred a strain of horses, the treasure of the tribe, who could tote upon a ridge or gallop up a mountainside, who could haul a hunter's burden, turn a buffalo stampede. The horse that wore the spotted coat was born of matchless speed. Thunder rolling in the mountain, lead your people across the great divide. There's blood on the snow in the hills of Idaho, but the heart of the Appaloosa never died. In the winter came the crowded ones, near frozen in the snow, bringing firearms and spyglasses and a book to save the soul. Well, the people gave them welcome, nursed them till their strength returned. And they studied their talking papers, its mysteries to learn. In the shadows of the mission sprang up farms and squatter towns. The plains were lined with fences, plow blades split the ground. In the shallows of the clear water, gold glittered in the pan. And word would come from Washington, remove the Indian. Thunder rolling in the mountain, lead your people across the great divide. There's blood on the snow in the hills of Idaho, but the heart of the Appaloosa never died. Well, the chief spoke to his people in his anger and his pain. I am no more Chief Joseph, rolling thunder is my name. They condemn us to a wasteland, a barren soil and stone. We'll fight them if we must, but we'll find another home. Well, they fled into the Bitterroots, an army at their heels. They fought at Whitebird Canyon, they fought at Misery Hill, till the colonel saw his strategy and he sent his order down. Shoot the Appaloosa wherever they be found. Thunder rolling in the mountain, lead your people across the great divide. There's blood on the snow in the hills of Idaho, but the heart of the Appaloosa never died. 1,200 miles retreating, 3 times over the divide. The horse their only safety, the reason they're alive. 3,000 Appaloosa perished with the tribe. The people and their horses were dying side by side. Thunder rolling in the mountain said, my heart is sick and sad. Our children now are freezing, the old chiefs are dead. The hunger takes our spirit and our wounds are deep and sore. From where the sun now stands, we will fight no more. Thunder rolling in the mountain, lead your people across the great divide. There's blood on the snow in the hills of Idaho, but the heart of the Appaloosa never died. Well, they were sent to Oklahoma, where malaria ran rife. Still more died of a broken heart for the land that gave them life. And the man once known as Joseph at death was heard to say, we've given up our horses, now they have gone away. But sometimes without warning, from a dull domestic herd, a spotted horse with courage wondrous will emerge. Strong it is and fearless and nimble on the hill, and listening for thunder, the Appaloosa's living still. Thunder rolling in the mountain, lead your people across the great divide. There's blood on the snow in the hills of Idaho, but the heart of the Appaloosa never died. Well, you know, the depressing songs, one of the most depressing things about that one was that Chief Joseph didn't have GPS. He thought he'd made it to Canada, and so he stopped, and he hadn't quite made it to Canada when they captured him. This is Liscannor Bay by Mick Flynn, and it's about growing up in a small town, Liscannor Bay in County Clare, Ireland, I guess, and falling in love. The fields of our childhood, still fresh as the day I first saw you playing 'neath the small cocks of hay. Our friends and our neighbors stood watching on by. Your laughter went ringing to the larks in the sky. Knew that I loved you, my only desire, to keep our own company, to watch the flames in the fire. Knew that I love you, with you I will stay. How mellow the light shines on Liscanor Bay. The stars out to play, love, on a spring fairy night. The cry of the curlew echoes our heart's delight. The sound of the sea break with its emerald spray, a sunset or moonbeam over Liscanor Bay. Knew that I love you, my only desire, to keep our own company, to watch the flames in the fire. Knew that I love you, with you I will stay. How mellow the light shines on Liscanor Bay. Time rolls along, love, but never you mind. The breeze off the ocean will be gentle and kind. Each song that your heart sings, it carries us there, like the dewdrops to the roses at our cottage in Clare. Knew that I love you, my only desire, to keep our own company, to watch the flames in the fire. Knew that I love you, with you I will stay. How mellow the light shines on Liscanor Bay. And then this is Streets of Laredo, cowboy song. As I rode out in the streets of Laredo, as I rode out in Laredo one day, I spied a young cowboy all wrapped in white linen, wrapped in white linen and cold as the clay. I see by your outfit that you are a cowboy. These words he did say as I slowly rode by. Come sit down beside me and hear my sad story, for I'm shot in the chest and I know I must die. Once in the saddle I used to go dashing. Once in the saddle I used to be brave. First to the card house and then down to Rosie's. But I'm shot in the chest and I'm dying today. So beat the drum slowly and play the five lowly. Play the dead march as you carry me along. Take me to the graveyard and lay the sod o'er me. for I'm a young cowboy and I know I've done wrong. Get 6 sturdy cowboys to carry my coffin, 6 pretty maidens to sing me a song. Lay bunches of roses all over my coffin, roses to deaden the clods as they fall. Fetch me some water, a cold cup of water, to cool my parched lips, this poor cowboy said. But when I returned, his spirit had left him. He'd gone to his maker, the cowboy was dead. So we beat the drum slowly, and we played the 5 lowly. We played the Dead March as we carried him along. We took him to the graveyard, and we lay the sod o'er him. He was a good cowboy, but he knew he'd done wrong. He knew he'd done wrong. I think we're all in trouble.
Yeah.
And then, since this is the Tumbleweed Festival, I did want to do a Tumble in the Wind, and it's by Jackson C. Frank. And he really did lead a tragic life. But in the end, you know, what's important, I guess. I seem to tumble in the wind, and I wait for it to begin. But when I look at you, I ain't too proud to say that I once loved a girl this way. Will I bring trouble on my lonesome self? And I see danger in every offer of help. The times are hard and the money just won't come through. And I'd be alone if not for you. Well, they brought me in on a flat car down from old Hong Kong. Tried to tell me what I was doing was absolutely wrong. Tried to make me over into a man of steel. But I knew I would have to kneel. From the plains of Alberta, where the wheat grows so wild and strong, I rolled o'er the Northland till I got to Saskatchewan. From a hardback in my satchel, I read the words quite clear. Come home to your loved ones now, winter time is near. But I tumbled with the wind, and I wait for it to begin. But when I looked at you, I ain't too proud to say that I was once loved by a girl by Jess and Frank. Ducks, when they first hatch out of the shell, they sometimes bond to the first thing they see, and usually that's mom, right? But it's kind of like love at first sight. They'll follow around whatever they see. And this is I Am Your Duck. Quackity quack, just our luck, I am your duck. When I first cracked open my shell, I saw your kind face. It was the first one that I could find, and love filled my empty duckling mind. Quackity quack, just our luck, I am your duck. When the currents lead you astray, I'll paddle close beside you, nudging us along our merry way. Quackity quack, just our luck, I am your duck. Just quack when you need me near, my guiding wings and flap and guiding stars will bring me back to you, my dear. Quackity quack, just our luck, I am your duck. When the winter winds up north sings, I will waddle in the sands of the Yucatan, snuggling there neath my downy duck wings. Quackity quack, just our luck, I am your duck. What comes next? Duckbills are not made for kissing, but you may find a well-placed peck to be quite interesting. Quackity quack, just our luck, I am your duck. I am your duck. Yeah, because we're at the river stage here, I wanted to do Woody Guthrie's Roll on Columbia, and I heard a YouTube video of this by Mr. Wilkins's Caboose School Choir, and when they would do it, they would on the chorus they would hit the beat one, the rolls, so it goes like roll on Columbia, roll on, roll on Columbia, roll on. Your power is turning our darkness to dawn. So roll on Columbia, roll on. So that's the chorus. Roll on Columbia, roll on. Roll on Columbia, roll on. Your power is turning our darkness to dawn. So roll on Columbia, roll on. Green Douglas firs where your waters cut through. Down the wild canyons and mountains she flew. Canadian Northwest to the Pacific so blue. So roll on Columbia, roll on. Chorus. Roll on Columbia, roll on. Roll on Columbia, roll on. Your power is turning our darkness to dawn. So roll on Columbia, roll on. Tom Jefferson's vision would not let him rest. He dreamed of an empire to the Pacific Northwest. He sent Lewis and Clark, and we did the rest. So roll on Columbia, roll on. Roll on Columbia, roll on. Roll on Columbia, roll on. Your power is turning our darkness to dawn. So roll on Columbia, roll on. Other great rivers add power to you. The Yakima Snake and Klickitat, Sandy Willamette and the Hood River too. So roll on Columbia, roll on. Roll on Columbia, roll on. Roll on Columbia. Columbia, roll on. Your power is turning our darkness to dawn. So roll on, Columbia, roll on. At Bonneville now there are ships in the locks. Waters have risen to clear all the rocks. Shiploads of plenty will steam past your docks. So roll on, Columbia, roll on. Roll on, Columbia, roll on. Roll on, Columbia, roll on. Your power is turning our darkness to dawn. So roll on, Columbia, roll on. And on up the river is a Grand Coulee Dam, the mightiest thing ever built by a man to power the factories and water our land. So roll on, Columbia, roll on. Roll on, Columbia, roll on. Roll on, Columbia, roll on. Your power is turning our darkness to dawn. So roll on, Columbia, roll on. These mighty men labored by day and by night, matching their strength against the river's wild flight. To the rapids and falls they won the hard fight. So roll on, Columbia, roll on. Roll on, Columbia, roll on. Roll on, Columbia, roll on. Your power is giving our darkness to dawn. So roll on, Columbia, roll on. With a special guest appearance by the Columbia River. This is a song about farming up in Canada by Stan Rogers, The Field Behind the Plow. Watch the field behind the plow, turn to straight dark rows. Feel the trickle in your clothes, blow the dust cake from your nose. Hear the tractor steady roar, oh you can't stop now. You've a quarter section more or less to go. And it figures that the rain keeps its own sweet time. You could see it come for miles, but you guess you've got a while. So ease the throttle in a hair. Every rod's a gain. There's a victory in every quarter mile. Poor old Cusick down the road, the heartache hail and hoppers brought him down. He gave up and moved to town. And Emmett Pierce the other day took a heart attack and he died at 42. You could see it coming on, 'cause he worked as hard as you. In an hour, maybe more, you'll be soaked clear through. The air is cooler now. Pull your hat brim further down and watch the field behind the plow turn to straight dark rows. Put another season's promise in the ground. And if the harvest's any good, the money just might cover all your loans. You've mortgaged all you own. Buy the kids a winter coat. Take the wife back east for Christmas if you can. All season she hangs on when you're so tied to the land. Well, the good times come and go, but at least there's rain. This won't be barren ground when September rolls around. So watch the field behind the plow turn to straight dark rows. Put another season's promise in the ground. The field behind the plow. That's the great Stan Rogers, because if you can make a musical out of farming, you're doing pretty good. And then, let's see, this is the truck driver song. And it's over 100 years old, but it sounds pretty much like something truck drivers would still say it today, I guess. Some like the sound of the outward bound, where the railroads clickety-clack, but I like the tone of the motor's groan in a Kenworth Hayes or Mack. My windshield shows me where I go, and my mirrors wear a beam, and my tandem roll and take their toll of the highways that I've seen. Well, I've learned to feel through the steering wheel the road I cannot see, and I hit the air 'cause I really care for the rig that's under me. Now the rain beats down on the way so black, and the nights are darker still, but I'll pull this load to the open road on the far side of the hill. Leave Vancouver with Pacific Cod at BC's first light. Return with a load of Pasco potatoes just before midnight. We truckers on our lonely trips connect the world like those fish and chips. Now she's made of steel and nuts and bolts, but you got to treat her right, or the dizzy bitch will hit the ditch and leave you cold and white. Well, there's nothing left for me to say that's not been said before, so I'll just say as I go on my way that I like the diesel roll. And that was written, like say, over 100 years ago by Cary Papoff. And go back to the tragic theme, I guess. This is Old Blue, and puppy love is real, but it usually ends badly because of dog years. Had a dog and his name was Blue. Had a dog and his name was Blue. Had a dog and his name was Blue. Bet you $5 he's a good dog too. Calling here Blue, you good dog Blue. Old Blue's feet were big and round. Old Blue's feet were big and round. Old Blue's feet were big and round. When Old Blue howled, you could hear for miles around. Cold and here, Blue, you good dog, Blue. Blue chased a possum up a holler limb. Blue chased a possum up a holler limb. Blue chased a possum up a holler limb. Old Blue growled. The possum just grinned. Called in here, Blue. Come on, Blue. Blue chased his tail in the rain. Blue chased his tail when it rained. Blue chased his tail in the rain. Blue, you're more mud than dog today. Calling here, Blue, you good dog, Blue. Old Blue's day came to pass. Old Blue's day came to pass. Old Blue's day came to pass. You know those dog years come way too fast. Calling here, Blue, you good dog, Blue. Gonna tell you what you need to know. Gonna tell you what you need to know. Gonna tell you what you need to know. Blue's gone to heaven where the good dogs go. Calling here, Blue. Someday I'm a coming too. Had a dog and his name was Blue. Had a dog and his name was Blue. Had a dog and his name was Blue. Bet you $5 he's a good dog too. Calling here, Blue. You good dog, Blue. And I guess that's about it. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.